Not quite yet.
Oh.
Almost.
We'll
There
do
we go.
reference.
We're live.
There we go.
Always in control. Basically representing that PlayStation
Yeah,
as usual. Are they? How much are they? How much are they paying you now for that PlayStation sponsorship?
Oh, they're just sending me a few, toys.
A few pennies a
Yeah,
month.
Sex
a few,
toys don't
a few.
count.
Damn it! How did you know Sony was making sex? That's supposed to be revealed at the next PlayStation event.
Oh god.
That gives a whole new meaning to PlayStation.
Well, it's called the joystick, and it does have a rumble pack.
Stop.
How you guys doing,
doing?
man? It's been a long week. I haven't seen you in a
yeah.
week.
And you know what? Whenever I see you guys, it just feels like yesterday. I'm really, really happy to be here, man. I've been thinking about the show since I got up this morning. And, we got a lot to talk about. Lots of really fun things going on in the game world, especially in the game that my friend Briar Rabbit is balls deep in. We're probably for the last 2 years or so. What have you guys been playing this week, man?
Robbie? Go ahead, Robbie.
Oh, okay.
It's not a secret. This is Beastly Thoughts Live.
Yeah, so this week, basically, I've been playing nothing but Destiny. Like, I am in love with the game again. I am absolutely hooked, and I know Briar's already happy to hear that.
Every week you come on this show and you talk about how you're playing
talk
Destiny.
shit.
Play something else, for God's sakes, Robbie.
Now I'm playing Destiny, yeah?
Well, Robbie, as somebody who hasn't played Destiny in a while, I've kind of drifted away from it. Tell me about how that experience kind of pulled you back in, and what, if any, changes have you recognized, and how are you feeling about the game as it stands right now?
Yeah, I mean, the main reason I came back to Destiny, of course, is because Rise of Iron is basically coming out tomorrow night, which I am incredibly excited for, because I love Destiny. I mean, I don't play it every single day. I do after new content comes out, but I always love the game, and I definitely grind it hard as soon as an expansion comes out. And I was really excited to get back into it, and I'm loving the game. Everything about it, PvE, doing strikes. I did King's Fall finally for the first time. Did the whole thing, not just part of it, which was awesome. I had a blast with that, doing Crucible. Like, the game just, it has something to offer for everyone, man, and that's what I've always loved about Destiny. Even when I get a little tired of it and I take breaks from it, I still love the game deep down. I definitely do, and really enjoying it.
I have to concur there. I can't even think of a game, honestly, that every time new DLC comes out, I feel like it is a must-play moment in my life. Destiny is that thing. I haven't followed Destiny nearly as much as my co-hosts, but I will be getting Rise of Iron tomorrow, and I will be playing it. That's
for
just
clarity's
something
sake, it's not coming out tomorrow. It's coming out Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
well,
not like
I'll
a
just-
midnight release where it comes out like Monday night. It's Tuesday morning. For me, it's 5
2 a.m.
a.m.
for
Tuesday
me.
morning.
For
Yeah,
you
for Robbie,
guys,
it's 3
5.
a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well-
Tuesday morning.
Well, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to set my clock back 12 hours, so I actually end up buying it tomorrow by my time. That's what
okay.
I'll do. But I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, there's really not any game that I've played over a 2-year period. I can't even think of one, as many games as I have, that every single time new DLC comes out, it's a must-play event in my house.
Yeah.
My wife has to do it. I have to do it. We got to see what new story content comes out. We got to see raids. We got to see everything. And it's been a damn long time since I got into Destiny. My wife actually played it day before yesterday. And she was like, wow, it just feels so new all over again. It's just been so long since she's gotten into it. And now that it's here upon us, I will definitely be playing that. Really, really excited. And, of course, I'll try to get in there with you, Briar, if I can, one of these days.
Yeah.
Woo.
Now,
Yeah, baby.
Now, I have actually been playing for a solid week now, or a little bit over a week, about a week and a half, Overwatch on PS4. And I know this game is a little
late
this game
to
is
the
a little
party.
yeah, I'm a little late to the party, but you guys know me. I'm always late to the party because I got such a huge backlog of games to play.
Yep.
And that free weekend that came out, I played it on my Xbox One, and I was like, holy shit, this game. It brought back the whole feeling of nostalgia I got from the beta. And after that free weekend was over, I went on the PlayStation, I was looking at it, and I was able to get it for, I think, $33
That's
during
great.
the sale. I paid for it, and I've been playing it ever since. And let me just say this, as a hardcore Last of Us Online fan, this might be the only game I've played in the last couple of years that has had the pull to pull me completely away from The Last of Us. Not saying I won't go back to The Last of Us, but there's so much to do in this game. I can't believe that people have gotten into this game and just kind of stepped away. Each character has their own unique move set. It's so many different ways to play, and getting the move of the game is just so incredible. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to play more of it. And hopefully I'll catch up to you guys with the new shit relatively soon. But right now,
have you played any of the competitive side of it?
No, you got to be level 25. I'm level 20 right now. Yeah. So when I hit 25, that's when I'll get competitive. But right now, I've narrowed it down to about 3 or 4 characters that I really, really, really love. And I'm trying to. I like May. Mm-hmm. She's probably my favorite as far as when it comes to defense.
So annoying though.
She is she's badass. Diva is my favorite when it comes to attacks. She's very offensive. I like Widowmaker, and let me see who's the 4th. Bastion. And everyone knows why Bastion. I haven't really got into the samurais too much, Hanzo and whatnot. I'm more of a I try to keep a little bit of distance between me and the other players, but geez, when it comes to my favorite 2 right now, it's definitely May. When it comes to that ice, she's so. I've literally taken on entire teams by myself with this character. Mm-hmm. She can create that giant ice wall. You get surrounded, and of course, she can regenerate her health, make an ice wall again, freeze people. It's insane. And to me, Diva has the complete package. She has the ability to fly and go wherever she wants. She has a shield. She gets up close to somebody, it's pretty much over. And her ultimate is fucking insane. It has the widest berth of damage of any ultimate in the game, and if you pull it off right, you can really, really save a team.
I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it, Beastly. I was surprised how quickly I bounced off of that game. I think part of it was because I am so interested in Destiny. For a PvP player, I play a lot of hours of PvP in Destiny. So it's switching between the 2 games was throwing my aim off in one game and then throwing my aim off in the next game. And the movement, it's not so much the movement, but the aiming in that game feels very different from Destiny, so it's very, very different for me. But I found that unless I was playing with a group of people and communicating with them, I found the game very frustrating because it's not kind to lone wolf players, which is frankly how I tend to play PvP.
I 100% would agree with you there. The beauty of it with me is pretty much whenever I play a game, I got my road dog with me side by side, my wife. Nice. Most of the time, she's like, come on, let's go. And we did find a few people doing voice chat, and that made a world of difference. And I do agree, the controls, especially when it comes to that aiming, can be a little bit more difficult, especially for traditional first-person players, because you're only controlling your aim with that the right analog instead of using them both together. But it's really, really, it's a lot of fun. I'm having a great time with it. And who knows, man? Maybe one day when Destiny falls off the earth, we could get together and play a little bit of Overwatch together, the 3 of us.
I'll play Overwatch anytime, man. I have a blast with the game. You're on PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
Robbie, are you on PlayStation 4 as well?
Yeah, I have Overwatch on PS4.
I also bought it on PC, and I actually liked it a lot better on PC.
I've heard, PC is just faster, it's smoother. I mean, on console,
I found it much easier to aim on PC than I do on console. For some reason, I think it's the aim assist. I think that game has very little aim assist, and for me, being used to playing Destiny for 2 years, which has a ton of aim assist, it really threw off my aim, especially when I was trying to snipe with Widowmaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you're loving the game, man. It's a really fun game. I love the personality. I love the look and feel of the game. It's just beautiful.
Now the thing is, guys, a couple of years ago, this would have been a game that we would have all been really pissed off about, and that's something I kind of had to swallow my pride on. I remember when Xbox announced the online-only type of experience. This is an online-only game. It doesn't have any single-player story. You can watch about 40 minutes worth of cutscenes, which are Disney Pixar quality, which I watched the entire thing and fell in love with the characters even more.
Yeah,
I watched that
that's something they did really well.
I couldn't believe how good it was. I was like, wow, this could be a movie by itself. But it doesn't really have much of a story, but the gameplay loop is so rewarding, and everybody seems to have that Achilles heel in another character. So if you see someone out really demolishing your team with a certain character, as long as you know what the pros and cons of each character are, you can really go out there and turn the tide of the battle. So to me, it's kind of like chess. It's a very, very fun game. I love, learning all these new characters. Some characters I didn't think I would like, I ended up liking. Mm-hmm. There's probably a good 7 or 8 I still haven't tried. But
what happened to me is that I'd get beat up by a character and be like, oh, I got to check this character out. I'd have a match where a Genji killed me 6 times and be like, oh, fuck this. I got to learn me some Genji.
Yeah.
Genji, the first time I played with him, this exact same thing happened to me. I was playing with Bastion, and I was mowing people down as a turret, and Genji came out of nowhere and reflected all my bullets back. I said, "What the fuck, that? What just happened?" He used the force and reflected everything back at me and destroyed me. And I was like, man, this is just an incredible game. How there's somebody for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm having a ton of fun with it, and it's been a long time since I've had another game. Bought a new game and just have been balls deep in it like that. I also bought Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 4.
Okay, so I played Destiny.
Tell us all about that.
Let's hear about it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you on purpose there because you said Resident Evil. It was supposed to be a joke.
Well, Resident Evil 4 is amazing. I just wanted to see what it looked like on PS4. I caught it on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did they do any graphical upgrade?
Yeah, it looks like the PC version.
Okay.
It looks really, really, really nice. And Resident Evil doesn't need much as far as any new enhancements. It's a classic game, and being able to play it in better resolution and frame rate than I've ever seen before is really a perk for me. And so as soon as me and my wife get done with Overwatch, we've agreed to go through and play Resident Evil 5 because honestly, I swear to you, no exaggeration, when we were together, when we first met, we beat that game no less than 40 times.
Resident Evil 5?
5 co-op. Yeah. And so it's one of our favorite games, kind of built our foundation on that. So we're looking forward to trying that out. And that's been my week, man. Yeah. Overwatch City.
5 was a real disappointment for me. Like, after the brilliance of 4, like, I really expected to just get more of 4, and 5 is definitely not that.
Yeah. I agree, right? And the thing is, if I was playing it single player, I would 100% agree.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody there with you the entire time and you're laughing back and forth and you're coordinating on a map, sometimes you can overlook that because of just that unadulterated fun you're having with somebody.
I can see that,
yeah. And we had a blast playing that game. But if I was playing it single player, which I've never done, never beat Resident Evil 5 single player, we've always done it, co-op, and it's a lot of fun when you play the game that way. I'll just say that. And I haven't really had too much time to play those because Overwatch has been really killing me.
Nice.
And we'll see what happens, man. I don't know what to anticipate from this point on with Overwatch. It's like that go-to game. This morning, my wife said, "You want to play?" I said, "What do you want to play? Resident Evil 5?" She said, "No, Overwatch." I said, "All right, well, shit." It's just that gameplay loop, man, has gotten me so hooked. I want to try a new character like every chance I can and pull off an amazing move. It's a great game.
All right, so I do want to talk about Destiny a little bit because
Absolutely.
I have been playing Destiny, and there's something really cool going on in Destiny right now.
There is space herpes.
Yeah, space herpes, basically. So
on Briar got space herpes.
Friday or Thursday? I think it was Friday.
Thursday, I think.
Yeah, it was Thursday. You're right. It was Thursday because I made a video about it on Friday morning. On Thursday, an infection was released to the entire Guardian population. And basically, if you caught this infection, two things would happen. You get these little, like, glowing nanites, like, floating around your head, and you would get an XP buff, right? So, like, anything you did, you'd get extra XP for, which is cool, right? It's really cool how it was released, too, because it started with a streamer. Say No to Rage was streaming, and this, he all of a sudden, he, like, looks at his character, he notices he's got this buff, and then this chat user, Owl Sector, came into his chat and said, we're investigating this buff. So that was actually Bungie in his chat when the thing got noticed by Say No to Rage. Bungie was in his chat as Owl Sector and got like this whole thing rolling. People figured out that Owl Sector, if you went to Owl Sector's Twitch profile page, it had a link to owlsector.bungie.net. And once you get there, you find this big map, you find this like cylindrical kind of pie chart of how the infections are floating around. And there's actually 5 different infections, each with a different color. You can catch all of them or you can catch one of them. But basically, like, all these Guardians are running around with this infection now. And then as the weekend has progressed, we've gotten more and more kind of story unlocked on the Owl Sector website and how this is actually a really bad thing for Guardians. We've been quarantined from the last city on Earth. There's all sorts of bad side effects that come along with this thing. They're trying to figure out how to fix it. And it's all tying into the Rise of Iron DLC launch on Tuesday. So hopefully tomorrow we'll like come to some conclusion of what these infections are, who started it, who released it. I've already called Say No to Rage the Typhoid Mary of Destiny. Yeah, it's just a really cool thing that's going on right now. It's got a lot of people really amped up. I love these augmented reality games, ARGs. Bungie's famous for doing these. They did it for Halo 2, Halo 3. I think they did some even past Halo 3, but it's just something like, it didn't take much, right? Just a little like graphical flourish in the game and a little buff for every character. And then this website, that's somewhat a simple website, but it's just got everybody in a flurry. You can see all the big Destiny streamers have got like little things on their profile pictures have all been kind of Siva-fied. It's really just been a blast. Like, it's a really smart thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's really incredible. They're able to change the game and get everybody that invested. You're going to, find out what this infection is and look at patient 0, I guess, and wonder what the hell he did wrong.
Yeah.
But I heard you say that there are pros and cons to this illness.
The pro is you get this graphical flourish around your head. Like, depending on how many of the 5 infections you've get caught, you can have one or all 5 of these like colored floating things just rotating around your head, which just looks kind of cool. Like the guys who have all 5 of them, you can hardly see through it. You can hardly see their face at all.
There's so much stuff flying
around. Wow.
It's really cool.
And you get an XP buff, so everything you do, you get a little extra XP for. Similar to how when we used to complete the Nightfall, we got like the flames on our heads and we got an XP buff. It's very similar to that. I think they probably just reused that code pretty much.
No, what are the cons of it though? I mean,
well, we don't know, right? So
thing.
if you get all 5, there's a kind of twitchiness to your vision if you're in the tower, where your screen kind of goes like every once in a while. But the lore on the website actually describes how patients have gone comatose and stuff like that.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just really fun, and it's like a great way, like without releasing any new game before the DLC, they've got like the whole Destiny community talking about it and just having a good time with it. Very smart.
What's the latest
really
update?
awesome.
Like, what do we know so far now?
I haven't read it today, but there's a lot that's come out since yesterday when I read it, so I wouldn't be able to be comprehensive.
I'm definitely gonna check it out then.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Keep
Yeah,
updating.
it's owlsector.bungie.net.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we have some news for this week? I'm guessing we do.
Yes, we do, gentlemen.
Starting off, keeping with Destiny Rise of Iron will introduce paid experience boosts that players can pay real money for a quicker leveling process. How do you think of? I know you don't like that, Briar.
They already did it. This is not new news. They did this last time in April, and I had a fucking shit fit about it. Nobody listened to me. Everybody said, you're overreacting. This isn't pay to win. Now it's even more direct. Before, what it was is that you could buy sterling packages that every once in a while would have a rep booster in them. Now they've bypassed the sterling package, and you could actually just purchase the rep booster. The rep booster gives you a better chance of getting better weapons. It gives you more chances at getting better weapons. So it's a very, and it's indirect, but it is there, and it's just like it's another step down the pay to win path. And I actually had somebody in chat today before I started the show. I was streaming just some Destiny, and he was mad that the Planet Destiny podcast didn't talk about it. And I'm like, we already talked about it. We talked about it in fucking April.
Yeah.
I was actually, Say No to Rage's podcast, and I talked about it on his podcast when it was brand new. But it's like, nothing. The community just told me to shut up, so, you can sit in the cake that you baked,
Yeah, now you guys can suck it because Briar was right.
I'm going to be in the same spot,
That is kind of disappointing. I mean, but for a person who hasn't played Destiny in a long time, how much is this package?
It doesn't matter. Don't buy it. Just stay away from it.
It's frustrating, that they're doing this.
Yeah, just stay away from it. Don't buy it. If we purchase this stuff, if we encourage this activity, Bungie and Activision are going to, keep doing this. But if we don't, if we rebel against it, look, there's nothing we can say on the internet that votes as strongly as our dollars.
As our wallets, yeah.
If we do not pay for this, they will stop doing it. Look, emotes, pay for all the dances you want. Pay for all the cosmetic stuff you want. Go crazy. But if we pay for stuff that is pay to win, then they're just going to keep doing it because they want that money.
Yeah, completely agree with you, Briar. Just if you don't support something, don't buy it. Period. Like just
Yes.
send a message.
Hopefully it works out, right? Because this has been kind of the trope of people on YouTube and commentators for a long time when we see these type of packages introduced to a game is to vote with our wallets. But how often does it actually happen?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would
Gotta get the
love for
impact
it.
across.
I would love for people, to resist it. But if people see other people doing it and they're getting advantages, and
Right.
they're going to be like, man, you got that shit by basically paying for it. Well, if you're going to do it and I got to go through all this work for less, I'm going to pay because I got to keep up with you.
Right,
I got to
yeah.
make sure I have. So it's one of those really tough situations because paying, resisting it and choosing to vote with your wallet, and you see a whole group of people who pay for this and they've got
It's
better
tempting.
shit than you. You're like, man, that pisses me off. I got to get this now because I see amazing stuff that they may have accrued by this, new method.
Yeah. And
So
Beasley, it goes deeper than that because the drop rates for weapons right now in the game are very fucking low. So it's very enticing to use these rep boosters and, play a bunch of Crucible and hope to get, weapons that you want from Lord Shaxx or from the Vanguard vendors. Two of the best weapons in the game, two of the best snipers in the game are only available through the method of, ranking up your level. Well, no, through ranking up your level with Lord Shaxx, with the Crucible vendor, or with the Vanguard vendor. And you can do that faster if you have these rep boosters.
That's wrong, man.
I know it's wrong. I know. It's been wrong since April, though, and everybody just ignored it.
Yeah.
And now it's back.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
mean,
guys,
is something like this, within the realm of everybody being able to buy it? How expensive is this?
we don't
I
know.
These
don't
rep
know.
boosts.
I don't know yet.
Wow.
I mean,
well,
yeah, if you can, don't support this. Like, straight up, I'm going to be real. This is bullshit. Like, don't
Yeah.
support this stuff if you can. It's bullshit. It really is.
it's a two-sided argument, right? There's people like Briar and other people who are hardcore Destiny fans. I mean, tons of people still play only Destiny. And then there's another group of people who maybe quit playing it 6 months ago or a year ago, who now want to get back in and become as powerful as the people who've been grinding all this time.
Yeah.
So there's going to be one audience that says, fuck that, I'm going to pay for this so I can catch up and maybe be as good or as strong as someone like Briar. And then you got people who, went through leveling up and grinding, like Briar says, oh, you're going to cheat to get here. It's going to break the game. It's going to break that whole experience.
I mean,
I hope not.
The thing is, Beasley, is that every time you do level up, you're not guaranteed a weapon. You're not guaranteed. Well, you are now. Actually, that's not true. You're not guaranteed a good one though. I don't know. It's bullshit if you ask me. It's just it gives you more shots at weapons, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't
let's
like it.
keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully they don't destroy Destiny, because that's the thing that kind of made Destiny so appealing, is that you basically got what you were worth before.
Yeah.
You put in work. Of course, it was a roll of the dice, but you really had to work to get shit in that game. And if they make it, this easy for everybody to get really powerful stuff, it's going to just take away that whole
It's gonna kill the
experience.
addiction. Yeah, the grind that
Fingers
people enjoy.
Crossed.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. The Last Guardian has been delayed to December 2016, just over a month from its original October 26th release date. A whole month?
I hope it's the last delay. We can only hope, but man, I just want to see this
the
game
Last
come out already.
Guardian's last delay. I'm not even concerned. I'm hearing really, really, really depressing impressions on this game now. A lot of people who've actually had hands-on with it are saying it's like a PlayStation 2 game. It still has that Orwellian control
It looks
scheme.
like a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah. And they're saying it feels like one too. It still has that awkward control scheme of games like Shadow of the Colossus. Good thing about PlayStation, you're able to actually change the buttons now, but it's not looking good. A game that's been in development for a damn decade is getting these kind of early impressions. Unless it completely turns around, I hate to say it, I'm not really super excited about this now, and I don't think a month is going to make a difference. It's been a decade.
I haven't seen. There's nothing about that game that's really impressed me so far. Like, there's graphically, it doesn't look that great compared to other stuff that we're seeing right now. It's been delayed. That doesn't bode well for the game. Like, you look at other games that get delayed for 10 fucking years, it's not a good sign. Like,
Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah.
Well,
There
this
you
is the thing, right? A lot of people have lost their desire to play this game. Nobody's really amped for it. I don't know anybody personally who's talking about it. Team Eco fans haven't even really been speaking too much about it. They should have learned from Activision, and they should have included a PS4 version of Shadow of the Colossus with the pre-order, and they would have been good.
That would
They
have
should
been
do
kind of
that.
nice. Yeah, I mean, this game has been tortured development, right? Like, it sucks. It's really sad because it's made by a really great team of people who made some amazing games, like Shadow of the Colossus, wonderful games. And people were excited for this 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago now. And it's just past the time when it would have made that impact, and it would have just been a better game. And I'm worried about it, too. I really am. But I hope it's good.
I'm trying to remember, but from what I recall, didn't Mark Cerny go in there to help them finish this game?
Yeah.
He might have, yeah. I think so.
Well, that's depressing. New details on Death Stranding have revealed that the game will be open world and will have some sort of co-op, according to Hideo Kojima. Metal Gear Solid 6?
I don't care because this game is still so far off. They announced it way too early, and I don't understand why. Like, just be quiet and tell me things about it when the game is getting closer to its release date.
This is the kind of thing that you read a story now, and then you hold that idea in your head, and then it changes. You get pissed off that it's not exactly what you thought exactly what they said about it 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know what this game's going to be. They're just starting the development now.
They just chose an engine.
Yeah.
Like this story, if you read it,
they don't know
just
what
chose
this
the
game's
engine
going to
for
end
the
up
game.
being even, you know?
No.
Like, they have ideas, but that thing's going to develop over time.
I've kind of come to the realization that Microsoft and Sony are like a politician. They'll say anything to get elected. We've seen this with E3. We've seen this with all kinds of games conferences where games are revealed 4, 5, 6 years in advance just so they can win that conference, just so they can get people excited at that time and win the goodwill of the consumer for that moment. Some of these games might not ever come out, but that's what we've really come to. You know, we're at that time in gaming where a game might literally be 5 or 6 years out, but they'll get you excited about it right now. It's like walking into your son's room when he's 10 years old and show him a picture of a car that he's going to get when he turns 18.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean,
Let's
really,
just be thankful it's not as dysfunctional as the actual political things going on in America right now.
Let's not start that.
Let's not get into it. Yeah, I know. I wasn't planning on it. Don't worry. Briar, I know. You don't like talking about politics, so it's all good.
All right, so
I will murder
moving
a
on.
fucker.
We've expressed before, too, that America is basically screwed. So
Hey, man.
You don't talk about my country that way, you Canadian motherfucker.
Sorry, I don't even live in America, and I'm stating opinions on it.
You entitled asshole. Your backyard's a mountain, okay? I don't want to hear that shit. All right. Robbie's backyard literally is a mountain, guys.
Nice. Yeah.
It's fucking beautiful.
Right across.
It is beautiful.
I would pitch a tent and live in your backyard. It's
right?
So
You
awesome.
could build another fucking house back there.
You could. I mean, I thought I was looking. I thought he
do.
photoshopped himself in front of a landscape from National Geographic. He's like, no, that's where I do my hunting at. I roast marshmallows over here. All right, so Assassin's Creed: The Ezio Collection has been announced for PS4 and Xbox One with a release date of November 15th. It will package Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations all in one package with enhanced visuals. Anybody excited about this?
Don't give a shit. No.
No?
You said Ezio. That's kind of odd, but
I liked Assassin's Creed 2. I thought it was good. I didn't keep following the yearly release though.
Stayed over its welcome though.
I liked it. I thought it was a fun game, but I'm ready for the new. You know, I'm done with these re-releases except for COD 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the exception.
Everybody's excited about that. Now, let me ask you guys a hypothetical. If you had to have one, which re-release would you be most excited about? The Assassin's Creed re-release, Batman, or BioShock?
Oh, BioShock, definitly.
Briar?
Easily. Love those games.
To me, it's between BioShock and Batman because those first two Batmans.
I don't want to play any of them, man. They're all, first of all, they're all too new. Like BioShock, I feel like I just played that game. BioShock Infinite, I literally did just play. You know, like I don't know, man. This whole re-release thing.
3.5 years.
The only reason I find COD 4 to be the exception here is because it's a multiplayer game and you can't go back and play it. Right?
And
It's broken. It has been
like
hacked to death. Right? It is just hacked to death. I don't care about the upgraded visuals in COD 4. If COD 4 still operated the multiplayer still operated on the Xbox 360, I'd still play it because it's a fun ass game. So this to me is like a really exciting thing. Is that COD 4? I'm going to be able to play the multiplayer again. I haven't played it in a long time. There's going to be a bunch of people coming into COD 4 who didn't play it before because that game's 10 years old. Who didn't play it before. And they're gonna get to experience the first time, and I'm going to get to absolutely kick their shit in because I know the maps in COD 4 like the back of my goddamn hand.
Well, see, right, this is the thing, right? I didn't really get to play COD 4 too much years ago, but the game is over 10 years old now, right?
Yeah, it's 9 years old.
Now the thing is this: there are remakes, and then there are unnecessary remakes. This is one I consider necessary, because everything that we're going to see now will be an improvement. We see remastered games that really don't look that much better than the originals now. But this one right here is night and day compared to the original. Plus,
which one are you talking about? COD 4?
COD 4.
I could care less about the graphical
I know, but that's you. That's you.
I don't care. I'm just happy that you can play it again. That's the problem, is that they did not support that game. The hackers just picked it apart. The same goes for a lot of those early Call of Duties. World at War is 2? Unbelievably bad. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2. You just can't go back and play them anymore. And those were seminal moments in online shooters and like huge games. So I'm really excited that that's coming back. I'm glad it's cheap. I'm glad they're not trying to spend sell it for $60.
Could you imagine?
I hope that they do re-release it for $20 as a standalone product. I think it's kind of
guarantee you.
Yeah, but I mean that's why I'm happy about that. BioShock, I can play that on a PC. It looks great. I can play BioShock 2 on a PC. It looks great. I can play BioShock Infinite on the Xbox 360, and it looks great. Yeah, that's not a big deal.
But my thing is, if a game is this old, a remaster is warranted. Like you said, BioShock Infinite just came out. We just played that just a few years ago. This game hasn't been touched for almost 10 years. So, seeing this come out now, seeing it look better, and actually having those 16 multiplayer maps that actually work seamlessly now, I think it's a warranted remaster. I'm really excited about getting into it, for me, really for the first time. So that's my thoughts on remasters. Some of them are bastards, and some of them are, really worth our time.
There have been some really good remasters, though. I don't want to put all of them in the same category. I think the Master Chief Collection, aside from the multiplayer being broken, in theory, that was fantastic. There were a couple other ones, too, that were good, but of course there have been a lot of shitty ones. So, I think it's just an exception. Like older games being remastered and being brought back, I love that. If it's too new, definitely. I don't like that then.
All right. Well, continuing on, I didn't tell you guys, at the beginning of the show, but I was recently pulled over for driving, and the story is this. A man driving a DeLorean in Sussex, England, was pulled over for speeding at 88 miles per hour. The man denies he was trying to travel through time. I wasn't trying to travel through time.
I knew this story would be fun. I just threw it in.
First ticket in years. That's fucking cool, man.
Everyone in chat, please tell me you know what this is referencing, because I love those movies. Oh my God, man.
This guy shouldn't have got a ticket. I would have, if I was the officer and I saw that, to me, that would have been a wow, cool moment. I would have said, hey, man, I see what you're doing. It's really, really cool.
I wasn't trying to travel through time. I swear. The flux capacitor wasn't turned on. I wasn't ready, so. Yeah,
was the guy's name Marty? Shit.
Yeah, was Doc Brown in the car, too? I mean, yeah.
That's really cool. That's a dream car, man. I really love to play something like that. What we got next, Robbie? We're kind of short on news this week.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, we definitely have exciting stuff with Destiny coming up, but our next piece of news has to do with No Man's Sky.
Ooh, time for some refunds. Go ahead, Robbie.
Kind of, yeah. So anyways, No Man's Sky did not have a great PR strategy, according to PlayStation's Shuhei Yoshida. That led people feeling disappointed by the final game. So basically, he addresses fully that, he thinks, people overhyped it. Maybe the developers were promising too much, and he's completely right about that.
Well, wasn't Sony over the PR? Didn't Sony promote this game?
Yeah, and they definitely promoted it too heavily.
I think
it's that AAA
the main
game.
Point, though, that people have a real problem with it was the developer himself was out there, talking about multiplayer
talk
features.
Shows.
Yeah, and talk shows. And, it seems like he was just talking out of his ass. He just, these features just
it does
in the
now.
game.
Yeah.
You say it does now, Robbie?
I'm saying now, looking back on those times when he was on like Stephen Colbert and stuff like that, and yeah, talk shows, like he was promising so much, and it got everyone excited because it's like this game sounds incredible, and then
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff was either changed or wasn't in the game at all. Like the space battles. The space battles were not bad, but like they weren't anything like they showed in the pre-release trailers.
Well, for me, probably the biggest thing that seems like they lied about. I don't have the game, so I can't say for sure. But my perception is this: there's really no multiplayer at all in this game. Correct?
No.
To me,
No.
that's really fucked up. That's the thing we talked about.
Yeah.
Everybody was speculating it would be kind of like Journey, that you might be traveling through space and just see a random person, and you can just hang out for a minute, maybe not even be able to speak, but they were going about their mission and you going about yours. But the fact that you have endless space, limitless possibilities, and feel so limited, it's kind of a smack in the face to all the people who bought this game. I'm happy I didn't buy it. And I mean, even when I saw the early stuff, I didn't see really that gameplay that really would have gotten me excited. I was never excited about this game, and I never even bought it. Who knows if it's $10?
I actually am glad that I bought it, because what they did accomplish was pretty amazing.
For 15 people, it is amazing what they did.
Like, yes,
I would say.
they promised stuff that wasn't in the game. And yes, like the game was not as deep as I had hoped it was. And actually, I didn't really, going into it, like I kept saying, like, is this game gonna be like, is there gameplay to this game, or is it just gonna be like you go and explore? And it turned out, yeah, you just go and explore, and there's not a whole lot that you do explore. But
Yep.
having bought it and having played it, I don't know for how long, but I'm gonna be looking at other games, Mass Effect, Destiny, other games that are like space travel games, and being saying like No Man's Sky laid down the gauntlet of what you can do as far as building a even just a galaxy, right? Whereas you walk around on the planet, you get in your ship, you fly out into space, you can go to another planet, you can go to like that is now what I'm going to expect in the years to come from other games that take place in space.
If 15 people can nail space travel, imagine
loading
what a
screens,
500-man
like
team can
10-minute loading screens in the fucking elevator, that shit's done. I'm not dealing with that anymore.
You leave Mass Effect alone.
Watching my ship like fly through space for 5 minutes while like the Cosmodrome loads in, fuck that shit. I'm done with that. Like this tech, somebody needs to buy this tech, because clearly the developers here couldn't make a game out of it, but the tech is absolutely fucking amazing.
It is amazing.
And now, like, let's move on. It's very similar to how I felt about Shadow of Mordor. Is like they had some ideas in Shadow of Mordor that were so fucking incredible that I just wanted wholesale people to just rip them off for other video games, because they were so good. And that's what I want from No Man's Sky. Like, having played No Man's Sky, I feel like I've experienced something that no other game has ever offered. And I want that to be like the base standard for games. Like if you make a Star Wars game, I want this shit to be in it. If you make Mass Effect, if you make Destiny, it's not going to be in Destiny 2, obviously, but Destiny 3, in 5 years, I want to see other companies taken advantage of technology like this, because it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, please have dynamic space travel with no load screens. They nailed that.
For me, like my mind, you guys know I'm a little crazy anyway, but my mind, it goes way out there when I think of stuff like this. Briar, you made a good point. You said what you see here was so amazing that forever in the rest of your life, the expectation of space is a little bit different when you play video games. You feel that in the future, other developers need to utilize this tech and make a game around it. And when I was in middle school, there was a guy who came to my school, and it was a little short guy, little white guy. And he came to the gym, and everybody was like kind of in the auditorium. He was talking to us about focus. And he had a basketball in his hand, and he explained what he was doing, what he was getting ready to do. He was getting ready to shoot 100 free throws. Mm-hmm. He shot 100, and he made 100. And everybody, the girls in school, were getting ready to meet him in the locker room. Anyway, that was really amazing to everybody. The thing, he was able to master one aspect of basketball, but he wouldn't make it in the NBA because he lacked so much. For me, that's the way I feel about a game like No Man's Sky. They mastered something incredible, which is this limitless space, this immersion. They kind of done away with loading screens and all that stuff. Is really, really amazing. But the aspects of games that we've grown to love over the last few years that keep us engaged in what we're actually doing, we're solely lacking. Mm-hmm. And all you got was this incredible expansive universe for you to basically explore.
Right.
And that's my thoughts on No Man's Sky.
No, I totally agree with you, BC.
Well said.
I absolutely
Yeah.
agree with you. Is that they did not make a game here. They made a universe, but they didn't put a game in it, and that's what No Man's Sky is lacking. But if a company that makes games can take this technology or technology like this and adapt it so that if how cool would a Star Wars game be if you could fly, if you could play, Star Wars, you run out of the bar or the Mos Eisley Cantina, you run through the stormtroopers, you fight your way to the Millennium Falcon, you get in the Millennium Falcon, you take off, you go up into space, you see the Star Destroyer there, and you gotta what the fuck are we gonna do? And you fly the Star Destroyer around the Star Destroyer, you got TIE fighters, all of this happens in one seamless transition without loading screens and all of that shit, man. It's so much more immersive.
Sounds unreal.
That's the lesson I think that's what I hope we pull out of No Man's Sky. And that's why I don't regret buying it. That's why I don't regret the fact that it was developed. I'm just hoping that it's not going to happen in a year. It's not going to happen in 2 years. But in 5 years, I hope that, games have progressed to the point where this is just standard, right?
That would be really, really incredible, right? The thing is, I'm thinking more like 10 years. And the reason I say that is because a game that is that expansive, that is really centered around the story and the progression of your character, it's going to demand a lot of story and a lot of different things to do in all these places. And it's going to take a shit ton of writing. That's something that Mass Effect is great at. They've got so much story in their kind of linear experience.
Yeah.
If you open that up and you can go to different places, you're going to expect story. You're going to expect activities. You're going to expect things to do on different planets, places to go. And that's going to be at least 10, 20 times the writing.
Yeah, well, they don't have to do the entire universe like No Man's Sky is doing. If they just did all this in a galaxy that had, 8 planets, and each one of these planets had, 4 cities that were marked on the map, and that's where you went to. You could fly anywhere you wanted on the planet, but more than likely there'd be shit all there. But when you flew to the cities, then you were in that Mass Effect story experience, right? And you went and searched out the people you needed to search out. Then you get in your ship, you fly back out, you go to the space station, whatever. What was that space station called in Mass Effect?
I'm trying to remember. Well, I know the ship's Normandy, but I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the space station, but you know what I mean. It's it's so much more immersive than what we've seen in the past. And yeah, No Man's Sky, I would say it's a failure as a product on its own, but the technology, man, it just it shines so bright, and it's so I can't wait till the guys who can make a great story and a great video game get their hands on that tech. I think the No Man's Sky team could make awesome tech. They needed these guys over here to make the great story and the great video game. Yeah.
That guy in middle school, if he went to a camp with maybe the 87 Bulls, he would have came out and maybe been able to join the NBA, and every time he hit the foul line, it would have been all nothing but net. We'll see what happens. I hope the developer, takes this technology and does something even better with it. Lesson learned here, though. 2 lessons. Shuhei Yoshida shouldn't have came out and kind of threw them under the bus, in my opinion, because basically Shuhei knew what this game was. Sony knew what this game was before it came out. And if they were really that concerned, they could have had someone, quality tested to see exactly what people would have thought. And of course, for the developer, you don't go out there touting what your shit is, knowing you're lying. To me, there's almost nothing worse than the person who might not have known.
He might not have known.
He may have been shooting for something,
right,
and then coming up short in the end.
This comes back to the Kojima thing, where why are you even talking about what features are going to be in a game that's fucking
you're right
3 years away,
4 years away,
6 years. I hope it's not that long.
I don't know, man. The guy's games take forever.
They do. You're totally right.
Yeah, Kojima's an average of about 4 years for a development cycle. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see it 2020. Hopefully.
And he announces a game 9 months after he releases The Phantom Pain. That's why I'm like, why is this being announced so early? This game is nowhere near done. They practically just started.
Well, I mean, you can't really fault him. Everybody does that. Every developer does that. Look at Final Fantasy Fantasy 7. Look at Final Fantasy 15.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
There's tons.
When's that coming out? Yeah. Jesus.
We're talking about Square, though. Square is really the king of that shit. But a lot of developers, they'll announce a game before the game has really even begun, just to get people excited and let them know, hey, look, we're working on something. It's happening.
That's
get
cool.
excited about it.
That's okay. But to start talking about features, that's...
yeah, because a lot can change, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the developers of Borderlands came out this summer and said, Borderlands 3, we're looking at it. That's getting going.
Yep.
They're not saying, look, it's going to have, this, and that. They're just starting. They're just starting.
That's what I love, man. I know, we all know that they've said, very clearly, we're working on the next Borderlands. They are not saying a thing about it. Perfect. Yeah. Let us know what's happening. Go silent until it's somewhat close.
Well, a good example of what you guys are talking about is our last story. This is how you do it, but after you do something like this, you need to just shut up, work on it until you're able to talk about it a little bit more. Metro series developer 4A Games has begun testing their next project with a new image.
Teasing
their next project with a new image. It appears to be heading towards some sort of sci-fi shooter. That's all you need to know.
Oh, so they're not going to do another Metro? They're doing another universe?
Not.
Well, Metro is kind of a sci-fi shooter, though.
How is that sci-fi? That's post-apocalyptic. Oh, I guess you're right with the dark ones. Yeah, you are right, actually.
Don't you think that post-apocalyptic is science fiction?
No, man, it's drama.
For a moment, I was like, yeah, no, you're right, actually. That does have a lot of sci-fi now. I mean, yeah, definitely take a look at the image.
It's science fiction.
We love
I guess you're right, actually, because this stuff doesn't exist in it, really. But okay, whatever. You know what I mean. Sci-fi is more of a space thing, I think of, though. I guess that's why. But
Robbie, just take in a deep breath of that mountain air right now. Canada mountains.
Smells like our spring in here.
But yeah, so basically the image is just like a hand and a weapon. It literally looks like it's straight out of Destiny. I mean, whatever it is, 4A Games is a really awesome developer. I love the Metro games.
Yeah, the Metro games are great,
I'm sure it'll be good. Yeah.
Metro games are intense.
And I mean, they've said little things back in 2014, I remember they said our next project will probably be less linear. We plan to do a little more open world. So I mean, these guys are an awesome team.
That's a little concerning. Those Metro games, they were so cool because they were such a cool story experience. And
yeah.
But hey, let's see what they do, man. I got trust. They've never disappointed me so far. I've only played 2 of their games, but
2 really good games. Yeah. They're a pretty new studio. They've only made 2 games, but so far so good.
And the games they've made have really been stellar and pushed at least 7th-generation consoles to the fucking next level, man.
Another thing, too, just to put in quick, because they haven't released a game in over 3 years since Last Light. This game has been in development for a while now, and they're just talking about it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, well, it means they've got something cooking and probably ready to come out of the oven sometime soon.
I wouldn't be shocked if it was announced.
No,
it's been in development for a while.
Me too, man. Shit. The thing, though, kind of going back to what we talked about with Hideo Kojima, I think that he kind of needed to go out there and say, hey, look, I'm back. I'm working on something, because he's been in the news for a year. This has been a very tough situation that he's been going through with Konami. He's handled it with respect and grace. And I think that he wanted his supporters to know, more so than anything, I'm back this fast working on something for you. Because he normally doesn't come out years in advance and say, this is the new game.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
look at Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I mean, I think he just needed to let people know it's not over for me. He was saying it while he was still with Konami. I just want to get back to work. And that's my opinion on him. But 4A Games, man, do your thing. We've seen developers get really good at something and then try something else and fail. But there are also stories like Guerrilla Games, who I believe is making probably one of the best games to come out anytime soon with Horizon Zero Dawn, trying something completely new than what they did with Killzone.
Yeah, and all signs point to that being an awesome game.
That looks
it really does. I'm very excited and very hopeful that Horizon's going to be awesome. That is the game I am the most excited for, easily.
I guarantee you, Brian, that
2017,
game
right?
Destiny for a minute.
February, yeah.
I'm sorry.
That game is I think it'll pull you away from Destiny for a week or two.
Yeah. The only thing that's got me wary about it is that it's made by Guerrilla Games. Seriously, though. It's those guys, they have a history of putting out these like trailers, gameplay trailers and shit that look way better than the fucking game does when it comes out.
Killzone 2. I know what you're talking about.
I think Killzone
Man.
4 was the same
You're right
way
about
on the
that
PS4, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure they had trailers come out that were like, wow, look at how great this game looks, and then most of the game doesn't really look
actually,
like
I
that.
would say the Shadowfall release footage looked about the same. I'd say Killzone 2 definitely was way
Briar,
over.
it
I
did,
have to take a look at that.
You guys let us know what you think in the comments below, because my memory serves. What happened with Killzone 2 was a tragedy. They created CG and pretended like it was actual in-game footage.
No, they didn't do that with Killzone 4.
I know.
What they did was they just showed like the most graphically intense parts, and then the rest of the game didn't quite look like that.
To me, that entire game looked amazing. I would have much preferred to see more outdoor scenes, because to me those outdoor levels really shown what hardcore development and really making a game as beautiful as it can be can achieve. But to me, Killzone Shadowfall is still one of the best looking games on PS4. To me, it's a technical marvel. The game is not that great. Story is lackluster. The main protagonist is kind of lackluster.
It feels like you're playing Halo in the mud.
Yeah. There's like you got some ankle weights on or some shit.
I don't agree with that, man. I think Killzone 2 and 3 were kind of slow. I thought they sped it up with Shadowfall, though. I actually really love Shadowfall's campaign, just from gameplay standpoint.
I didn't play the campaign. I jumped into the multiplayer because
I didn't do
was
that.
Fun too. I like that too. It was. It
literally felt like I started playing it. I'm like, this just feels like I'm stuck in the mud all the time.
It was definitely faster than the previous Killzone. It's still, you can't really turn Killzone into Call of Duty, so it would have been really tough for people who are hardcore into Killzone for them to get into that game, Shadowfall, and be running around and boosting off and doing things that you're doing in Call of Duty. So you had to keep it kind of similar. But I think that Shadowfall and Mercenaries on the Vita were even faster than Killzone 1 and 2 on PS2. So, I mean, let's see what they do. Going back to Metro, hopefully they're able to kind of do what has been done here with
Horizon.
Horizon is going to be the shit. Yeah. I mean, that's a game I'm super, super excited about. Oh, I want to let you guys know. Tally up in the comments below what you think I'm going to get. On Wednesday of this week, I got a vacation day. I've scheduled it. I'm going to go spend some money. I'm going to the doctor. We're going to find out if I'm having a girl or a boy. And so to me,
can we name it?
It all depends, Brian.
Didn't we already decide on that?
Yeah, I think we did. That's right.
Yeah.
God damn it. Anyway,
I'm going to say no. I'm going to be a girl.
I got 2 boys and 2 girls. My boys are 15 and 14.
My girls are 6 and 4.
Right now, 50-50. So I'm really, really, really excited about this. I personally think it's going to be a girl, but everybody, of course, is against me. They think it's going to be a boy because they're doing a numbers game. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments. And Briar, you got to catch me, man. You only need, 3 more?
3 more kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need 3, 5.
I don't think I'm going to do that, Beasley.
It's going to take me a while to catch up.
And someday I'd like to retire.
Out of my entire investment in
it is going to be a little bit hard.
And all these kids. Yeah. No thanks.
If you're lucky, they'll be stupid and won't want to go to college.
That's the way to look at it. Hopefully they're not stupid. Shit.
Hey, I didn't choose college, so am I stupid?
All right. We got any other news today?
That's all the news for this week.
That
Robbie was able. Well, I mean, and Briar, you got to take the good with the bad. We got a chance to talk about Destiny today. We used to talk about Destiny on every PC Thought show.
You guys have no idea how hyped I am. Like, I'm having trouble sleeping because I'm thinking about it.
I was playing Destiny all night last night. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
Rise of Iron comes out Tuesday. The new raid comes out Friday. On Friday, I'll be live streaming our first playthrough of the raid. We're gonna go for a world's first raid completion. I'm doing that with I don't know if you know this, Beasley. I'm gonna be doing that with Destin Legary from IGN.
Destin Legary?
Legary, yeah. Thank you. Plus the Planet Destiny podcast crew.
Oh, you're the fucking man.
Right? So that's like, I'm really excited for that. I really, I'm going to be honest with you. If we got into the top 10 raid completions, like first raid completions, I'd be like ecstatic.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
man,
what I'm really hoping for is to have an experience like we had from last year when we did the Taken King. We did the same thing for the Taken King raid. And it was just a blast, like trying to figure this stuff out real time with the chat, live streaming it. It's just absolutely a blast. This time I get to do it on my own channel, which I'm really excited about. Like, I mean, this week, man, is going to be like, I feel like it's like going to be a highlight of my life type of week, like that's how excited I am right now.
I'm so happy
Briar,
for you.
I am so excited too. I will be there supporting you. I can't wait to see you guys kick ass in that raid. I am so excited.
Now, everything that you said, one thing pops in my mind, Briar. You said that you're having trouble sleeping. So tell Miss Rabbit to just get a fly swatter, and every time you roll over and say Gallahorn, she can just slap you back to sleep.
I don't see how slapping me with a fly swatter is going to make me go back to sleep.
Tell her it works.
I'll give you a Red Bull. That'll help you get back to sleep.
Beasley just confirmed why I'll never give him my wife's phone number. Ideas like this that I cannot support.
Oh, man. That's really incredible, Briar. Man, that's exciting. I've known Dustin. He's been into Destiny since it first came out.
Yeah.
He could hardly do his job at IGN for the first year. They would even say that live, that he can't work because all he's doing is playing Destiny. So you guys are going to have a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Man. It's going to be incredible.
I got to play with him last week. We did like a raid prep, like a first run with like the group, and everybody kind of get to know each other a little bit. And he was a really nice guy. He's like a super cool dude. He's really good at Destiny. Of course, the Planet Destiny crew. We got Patrick. We got Tefty Teft. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
This is going to be a big thing, man.
Yeah.
Well, Briar, if this thing proves very big in your YouTube career, your Twitch career, just build an extra room on your house, and I'll just bring my family down there, and then
my wife's gonna fill the fucker up with cats. Like it's going crazy up in here. We got 4 cats now. You're having kids. Cat. I'm having cats.
More cats than children.
Hey man, you've gotten how many cats over the last few 2 months?
What happened was, you want to hear the story? It's a really quick story.
Yes.
All right, so I'm live streaming, right? Playing some Destiny. My wife comes in the office and she's like, "Hey, one of my friends has these kittens. Is it okay if we foster them for 3 days?"
Oh.
Like, yeah, sure. She's like, "Great, they're on their way over now." I'm like, I feel like my input wasn't really required here. So it turns out the plan was that the kittens were gonna stay here. Kittens that small, these things, I mean, their eyes were shut. They hardly, they'd just been born and then been abandoned. I mean, these things had to be bottle fed like once an hour, or once every 3 hours or something like that.
Wow.
So it was like, I mean, and my wife is a veterinary scientist, so she knows how to do this stuff. Well, it turns out the vet who is supposed to take these things off of our hands and get them adopted totally flaked out.
What?
So this was 8 weeks ago, and we've still got these kittens.
Meow.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you guys are going to be the crazy cat family. I can just see it now.
Well, Briar, let me just say this. My wife's pregnant, and she's into that, that mothering, nurturing mode.
Maybe it'll be a cat.
I bet she wants a cat. Or 3.
Listen, this is a short story, but you and I have a lot of similarities.
Mm-hmm.
This is about 2.5 weeks ago. I was taking the trash out. I walked outside. There was this little tiny kitten, about 8 weeks old, sitting at the top of the stairs, eating something. And normally, a stray cat, you get close to them, they'll take off running.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking past this cat with a big ass bag of trash, and it didn't even stop. It was eating something, going off, trying to eat something. And so by the time I made it to the trash can, my pregnant wife is standing next to the cat somehow. She said, "Oh, it's eating a moth." I said, "It's eating a moth?" She said, "Yeah, it's an insect." And so she said, "I'm going to go get it a piece of turkey or something."
No, don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do.
Won't leave you alone after that.
Yeah, that thing's never going away now.
It's Briar. Since that day, the fucking cat's been here.
Mm-hmm. You might as well just welcome it in, man.
Her name is Harley Quinn, and Kate said it's over. She's not going anywhere. I love this cat.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, they were sleeping together earlier today.
There you go.
Somehow our lives have this twisted Twizzler parallel going on.
What you should have done, Beasley, here's pro tip. You see that kitten, you smash it with something, and you say, "Hon, there's a dead cat out there."
That's called animal abuse.
That's called
I mean,
murder. Right?
I
That's
wouldn't
called
do
animal
it.
Murder, yeah.
And I wouldn't suggest anybody else do it, but you know what I'm saying.
You know what?
Yeah, don't walk outside and smash the first cat you see. That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
I honestly
shit.
love the kittens. I mean, they're running around the house now, and it's like they're so fun because they're so playful, and they like hop up in the air, they're like ah, and then
Yeah.
That's adorable, man. I
Well,
love
well,
kittens.
As somebody who's had cats and dogs in the past, cats are much easier to maintain. There's no potty training. They go straight to the litter box. At the age of those kittens, though, they might have a little difficulty learning and remembering. But this cat came straight to the litter box, said, "Hey, this is where I take a shit. This is it. Cool." I was like, "Wow." It takes a lot longer to fucking train my kids.
Someone in chat
Right.
said podcast is not sponsored by PETA. No, definitely not. After we talked about killing a kitten.
I'm
Just go out
just
and murder
kidding,
that
guys.
thing.
I'm just kidding.
right.
I like to talk tough, but I'm a fucking teddy bear. in all honesty,
We know
I
you-
can't resist.
Your last name is Rabbit.
My
Come
last-
on, we know.
The first cat that showed up, my wife was like making phone calls to have the thing, bring it to because this is the same kind of thing. It was a rescue cat. It was outside. We brought it inside. It took us like 6 hours to catch the fucking thing in like the middle of winter.
Jesus.
The next day, my wife goes to work and she's making calls to the Humane Society to get it, put in there. And I'm sending her pictures of the fucking kitten like running around on my shoulders.
That's the wrong
Like,
thing to do,
Guess we're
Brian.
keeping it.
Cats are awesome.
All right.
Well, hopefully it's only 4 the next time we do our show, Briar. Good
Yeah,
luck, my
right.
friend.
We got 2 dogs too. I mean, this place is a fucking zoo.
Full
Jesus.
house. Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Well,
outnumbered. The animals have outnumbered us.
hell yeah.
They're taking over. Yeah. Skynet's gonna, animal Skynet.
All right. Should we wrap this one up?
Yeah, man. It was a great show.
All right. It was a good show. Thank you guys very much for watching. And
Thank you.
YouTube guys, thank you guys for watching. We got to start getting this thing on iTunes, man. We got to work on that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Got a few episodes up, but that's only if they want to hear about the looming release of PlayStation 4 or something, because that was some
Yeah,
old
it's a long time
shit.
ago.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
PS4 will be out next week. I'm super excited.
Can't wait, man. All right.
1 terabyte.
Thank you guys
One
very much
ter-
for watching. We will see you next week at same time.
Peace.
See ya.
1.8 teraflops of power?